Beyond the noise of the modern world, there are places where time has simply stopped. Hidden valleys and stone-built villages that have breathed the same quiet air for 1,000 years. Tonight, we aren't just visiting them, we are letting their ancient peace become our own. Are you ready to discover what the silence of the past has to tell you? Welcome to Sleeptale Histories. I am so glad you are here. Tonight is for you, a time to let go of every task, every worry, and every light from your screen. My promise to you is simple, a journey through the most peaceful villages of old Europe. We will walk through rain-washed cobblestones, golden Tuscan hills, and misty coastal ports. There is no rush here, only the steady rhythm of history. So make yourself comfortable. Let your breathing slow down and follow my voice into the heart of yesterday.
Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders drop. Close your eyes and imagine the world outside begins to fade. The busy sounds of the city, the hum of the highway, and the glow of your screens are all drifting away. You are stepping into a different time, a slower time. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a very old forest in Europe. The air here is cool and crisp. It smells like damp earth, pine needles, and the faint, sweet scent of distant wood smoke. Before you lies a narrow path made of smooth gray stones. These are the cobblestones of a village that has slept here for nearly 1,000 years. As you take your first step, the sound of your shoes on the stone is soft and rhythmic. Click, click, click. It is a peaceful beat. This path is the gateway to yesterday. These stones were placed here by hand centuries ago. Think of the thousands of people who have walked this same path. Farmers returning from the fields, poets looking for a quiet home, and families walking together under the stars. The path begins to wind downward into a small valley. On either side, old stone walls are covered in soft, green moss. The moss feels like velvet under your fingertips. It is thick and lush, holding the moisture of a gentle morning rain. Everything here is quiet. The only sound is the wind whispering through the ancient oak trees. It sounds like a long, slow sigh. As you turn a corner, the village comes into view. It is nestled in the heart of the valley like a secret. The houses are small and sturdy, built from the same gray stone as the path. Their roofs are made of dark slate, shimmering slightly under the pale moonlight. There are no bright lights here, no neon, only the warm orange glow of a few lanterns hanging near wooden doors. The windows of the houses are small and framed with heavy timber. You can see the flicker of a fireplace inside one of them. Imagine the warmth of that fire, the way the golden light dances on the walls. It feels safe. It feels like home, even though you have never been here before. This is the magic of the old world. It welcomes you with silence. You continue to walk deeper into the village. The street is narrow and curvy. You pass a small bakery that has been closed for the night. Even now, the air around it smells like warm bread and cinnamon. It is a comforting scent that reminds you of childhood. You breathe it in slowly, in and out. Your body feels heavier now. Your feet move slowly, guided by the peaceful spirit of the village. In the center of the village, there is a small stone fountain. The water flows from a carved lion's head
into a circular basin. The sound of the water is a steady, gentle trickle. Splash, drip, splash. It is the most relaxing sound in the world. This fountain has been singing this same song for 500 years. It does not hurry, it does not stop. It just flows, reminding you that time here is different. You don't need to rush anymore. There is nowhere else you need to be. You find a wooden bench near the fountain. The wood is old and polished by decades of people sitting and dreaming. You sit down for a moment. Above you, the sky is a deep velvet blue. The stars are bright and steady. They look like tiny diamonds scattered on dark silk. There are no clouds, just the vast, peaceful universe watching over this little village. The cobblestones beneath your feet seem to hum with stories. If you listen closely, you can almost hear the whispers of the past. They tell stories of simple joys, the sound of a blacksmith's hammer in the distance, the laughter of children playing by the river, the chime of the church bell marking the hour. These stories are not loud or scary. They are soft and steady, like a heartbeat. As you sit there, a light mist begins to roll in from the surrounding hills. It moves like a slow white blanket, tucking the village in for the night. It softens the edges of the houses. It makes the lantern light look blurry and soft. The world is becoming even quieter now. The mist carries the scent of wild lavender and cool water. You realize that this village is a place where history goes to rest. It is a place where the weight of the modern world cannot reach you. Every stone, every wooden beam, and every flickering candle is an invitation to let go of your worries, to let go of your tasks, to simply exist in this beautiful, frozen moment. Soon we will leave this first village and travel deeper into the mountains. We will find villages hidden in the clouds and hamlets tucked away by the sea. But for now, just stay here on this bench for a moment longer. Listen to the water. Feel the cool mist on your skin. The cobblestones have shared their first secret with you, that peace is not something you find, it is something you step into. Your eyes are feeling very heavy now. The rhythm of the fountain is slowing down in your mind. The village is settling into a deep, ancient sleep, and you are ready to join it. In the next part of our journey, the path will lead us upward towards the alpine meadows where the air is even thinner and the silence is even deeper. But that is for later. For now, just listen to the whispers of the stones. Sleep, sleep, sleep.
Leave the narrow streets of the stone village behind. Imagine yourself floating softly upward, away from the valley floor. We are moving toward the high country. We are traveling to the north, where the mountains touch the sky. This is the land of the Great Alps. It is a place of endless green, white peaks, and a silence so deep it feels like a soft blanket over the world. As you arrive, the air changes. It is thinner here. It is cool and incredibly pure. Every breath you take feels like cold silk filling your lungs. It is refreshing. It is clean. You are standing at the edge of a vast alpine meadow. The grass is a deep, vibrant emerald, swaying slowly in the mountain breeze. It doesn't move fast. It ripples like a gentle wave on a calm lake. Sway back and forth. The sun is beginning to dip behind the jagged mountain peaks. The sky is turning into a painting of soft pink, pale violet, and dusty gold. The light is shimmering. It reflects off the snow-capped mountains, making them look like giant crystals floating in the clouds. Everything is bathed in a warm, sleepy glow. As you walk through the tall grass, you hear a sound. It is very faint, drifting from a distance. It is the rhythmic chime of cowbells. Tinkle, chime, tinkle. It is a hollow, metallic sound, but it is not sharp. It is soft and musical. The cows are far away, grazing on the sweet mountain herbs. The sound tells you that life here is simple. There is no hurry. There is only the grass, the wind, and the bells. Tucked into the curve of the mountain is a tiny hamlet. This is not a village of stone, but of wood. The houses are built from dark, seasoned timber that has weathered hundreds of winters. The wood is a deep chocolate brown, smelling of pine and old sap. Large, overhanging roofs protect the balconies, where bright red geraniums are beginning to close their petals for the night. The path here is made of soft earth and pine needles. Your steps are silent now. It feels like you are walking on a plush carpet. The ground is springy and soft. With every step, you feel more relaxed. Your legs feel heavy. Your heartbeat is slowing down to match the slow rhythm of the mountains. You pass a small wooden chapel. Its bell tower is tiny, with a silver bell that catches the last rays of the sun. Outside the chapel, there is a hand-carved bench. You sit down and look out over the valley. From here, you can see for miles. You see other tiny dots of light from distant cabins. They look like fallen stars nestled in the folds of the dark green hills. The wind carries the scent of wild thyme and cold snow. It is a scent that clears your mind of all cluttered thoughts. Imagine your worries are like the small white clouds drifting above the peaks. Watch them as they float away, becoming smaller and smaller until they vanish into the darkening blue of the evening sky. They are gone. You are here. You are safe.
In this high village, people live by the seasons. They watch the moon rise and the sun set. They listen to the songs of the birds and the whisper of the pines. There are no loud engines here, no sirens, only the peaceful creak of a wooden gate and the distant rush of a mountain stream. The water in the stream is icy and clear, tumbling over smooth white pebbles. The sound of the water is constant. It is a steady white noise that lulls your brain into a state of total calm. Gurgle, rush, flow. As the darkness deepens, the air becomes colder, but you are wrapped in a heavy knitted wool blanket. It is warm and comforting. You watch the first stars appear over the peaks. In the north, the stars seem closer. They are large and steady, shining with a soft white light. The Milky Way stretches across the sky like a river of silver dust. It is so beautiful it takes your breath away, yet it makes you feel so small and protected. The village is becoming still. The goats have gone to sleep in their barns. The mountain birds have tucked their heads under their wings. Inside the wooden houses, families are sitting around heavy oak tables, the soft light of candles reflecting in their windows. There is a sense of deep belonging here. This village has survived the wind and the snow for generations by staying quiet and strong. You feel a sense of profound stillness. The mountains are like giant guardians watching over you while you rest. They have been here forever, and they will be here tomorrow. You realize that the world is very big, and your place in it is quiet and peaceful. A soft mist begins to rise from the valley floor, creeping up the slopes. It covers the meadows, hiding the flowers and the grass. The world is disappearing into a soft gray velvet. All you can see is the faint glow of the stars and the dark silhouette of the pines. The mist feels cool on your face, but you are warm under your blanket. Your eyes are closing now. The sound of the cowbells has faded into the distance. The mountain stream is just a whisper in the back of your mind. You are drifting. You are floating on a cloud of alpine air. The history of this place is not written in books, but in the wind and the trees. It is a history of peace. As you fall deeper into sleep, our journey is not yet over. Next, we will travel south, where the air smells of sun-baked earth and the stone walls are warm to the touch. We will find our way to the golden hills of Tuscany. But that is a story for another dream. For now, let the mountain silence hold you. Sleep, breathe, rest.
Now let the cool mountain air fade away. Feel a soft golden warmth beginning to wash over you. We are traveling south now, to the rolling hills of Tuscany. The air here is different. It is thick with the scent of dried lavender, ripening grapes, and sun-baked earth. It is a warm, comforting hug for your soul. Imagine you are standing on a hilltop at the end of a long, lazy afternoon. The sun is a giant, glowing orange orb hanging low in the sky. It paints everything in shades of honey and amber. Before you, the landscape waves in gentle curves of green and gold. Rows of tall, slender cypress trees line the dusty roads, standing like quiet sentinels in the fading light. You begin to walk down a path made of pale, crushed limestone. The ground is warm beneath your feet. It has been drinking in the sun all day, and now it is slowly releasing that heat back into the evening air. The sound of your footsteps is a soft, dusty crunch. Crunch, crunch, crunch. It is a slow and steady rhythm. In the distance, you see a small village perched on top of a neighboring hill. Its walls are made of sun-drenched stone, shades of ochre, cream, and burnt orange. This village has stood here for centuries, watching the seasons change. It does not hurry. It does not change its pace. Here, time is measured not by clocks, but by the movement of the sun and the ripening of the olives. As you enter the village gate, you feel the shade of the thick stone walls. It is cool and inviting. The streets are very narrow, barely wide enough for a small wooden cart. The houses lean in toward each other, as if they are whispering old secrets. Above you, lines of laundry hang between windows, swaying gently like soft white flags in the breeze. The air here is filled with the peaceful sounds of a Tuscan evening. You hear the rhythmic chirp-chirp of the crickets in the tall grass outside the walls. You hear the distant muffled sound of a church bell tolling for the end of the day. Bong, bong, bong. The sound is deep and mellow. It travels through the warm air like a ripple on a pond. You pass a small courtyard where an ancient olive tree grows. Its trunk is twisted and silver, a living sculpture of time. The leaves are a soft, shimmering green. As the breeze moves through them, they make a sound like falling rain, a gentle, dry rustle. You stop for a moment to touch the stone wall of a nearby house. The stone feels rough but friendly. It is solid. It is permanent. There is a small cafe in the corner of the piazza.
but the chairs have been tucked away. The smell of rich roasted coffee and sweet vanilla cake still lingers in the air. A sleepy orange cat sits on a stone step, slowly washing its paws. It looks at you with heavy, golden eyes before letting out a long yawn and curling into a ball. You feel like doing the same. Your body is feeling heavy and warm, like the stones around you. The sun has now dipped below the horizon, leaving a trail of velvet purple and deep rose across the sky. The stars are beginning to wake up, appearing one by one in the hazy twilight. In Tuscany, the night comes slowly. It is a gradual transition, a gentle fading of the light. You find a spot on the edge of the village wall, overlooking the valley below. The hills are turning into dark, soft shadows. You see the tiny, twinkling lights of distant farmhouses, or podere, scattered among the vineyards. Each light represents a family settling in for the night, sharing a simple meal and a glass of wine under the glow of a lamp. The atmosphere is so still. There is no wind now, only a soft, warm breath of air that carries the scent of wild rosemary. You feel a deep sense of gratitude for this peace. This land has seen empires rise and fall, but the rhythm of the harvest and the beauty of the sunset remain the same. It reminds you that the most important things in life are the simplest ones. Your breathing is now slow and rhythmic, in and out, like the rolling hills before you. Each breath brings in the calm of the Tuscan night. Your mind is like a still lake, reflecting the stars above. There are no ripples, no disturbances, just deep, golden silence. The village is now almost completely dark. The stone walls have turned a deep, dusty gray. The only sound left is the whisper of the trees and the steady heartbeat of the earth. You are ready to rest. You are ready to let the timeless spirit of Italy carry you into a dreamless sleep. But our journey through the history of peace is not over. Next, we will leave the warm hills and travel toward the coast, where the air is salt-sweet and the rhythm of the waves will guide us further into the night. We will find the forgotten fishing ports of the Atlantic. For now, stay in the warmth of the sun-drenched stone. Let the golden light of Tuscany glow in your heart as you drift away. Sleep, warm, peaceful, rest.
Now let the warmth of the Tuscan hills dissolve into a cool blue mist. We are traveling west toward the rugged edges of the continent, where the land meets the vast Atlantic Ocean. The air here is different. It is fresh, cool, and tastes faintly of salt. It is a cleansing air that washes away the dust of the road and the noise of the world. Imagine you are standing on a high cliff in Brittany or Cornwall. The sun has already set, and the world is painted in shades of deep indigo and slate gray. Far below you, the ocean is a massive, breathing creature. It doesn't roar here, it hums. It is a low, vibrating sound that you feel in your chest. Whoosh, hush, whoosh. The waves are long and slow, sliding over the rocks like liquid silk. Before you lies a tiny fishing village, tucked safely into a narrow, rocky cove. It is a hidden port, forgotten by time. The houses are sturdy and small, built from dark granite to withstand the Atlantic winds. Their white-painted window frames glow softly in the twilight, like tiny lanterns looking out to sea. You begin to walk down a steep, winding path that leads to the harbor. The ground is a mix of stone and wild coastal grass. As you walk, the
The sound of the ocean grows clearer. It is a rhythmic, hypnotic song. The water hits the stone pier and retreats, dragging tiny pebbles with it. Shh. It sounds like the earth is whispering sleep over and over again. The air is damp and cool, hugging your skin like a soft, wet veil. It carries the scent of seaweed, old wood, and the cold, deep mystery of the underwater world. You reach the harbor floor, where the cobblestones are slick with sea spray. In the dim light, the harbor looks like a silver mirror, reflecting the first few stars and the blinking red eye of a distant buoy. The fishing boats are all home now. They are small wooden vessels with names like the Blue Pearl or the Morning Star. They are tied to the stone quay with thick, heavy ropes. As the tide gently lifts and lowers the water, the boats sway in unison. You can hear the soft, rhythmic creak of wood against wood. Creak, snap, creak. It is a lonely but comforting sound. It tells you that the work is done, the nets are dry, the sailors are home. You walk along the harbor wall toward the old lighthouse at the very end. The lighthouse is a tall white tower with a crown of glass. Its light is not a flash, but a slow, sweeping glow. A warm, golden beam of light rotates slowly, cutting through the misty air. It passes over you, then moves out across the dark water, then returns. It is a steady, predictable pulse, like a heartbeat.
The village is very quiet. Most of the villagers have already put out their lamps. You pass a small cottage with a blue wooden door. A single candle burns in the window, casting a flickering amber light on the street. Behind the door, you can imagine the sound of a crackling peat fire and the steady ticking of a grandfather clock. Everything here is built to last. Everything here knows how to wait. You find a smooth, flat rock near the water's edge and sit down. The rock is cold, but you feel grounded and still. You watch the mist roll in from the horizon. It is a thick, velvet fog that slowly swallows the ocean, then the boats, and then the lighthouse beam. Soon, the world outside this tiny cove disappears. There is no horizon. There is no distance. There is only you, the mist, and the sound of the water. Your mind begins to drift with the tide. Imagine your thoughts are like small wooden boats tied to the pier. They sway gently, but they are not going anywhere. They are safe. They are secure. With every breath you take, the mist fills your mind with a soft white silence. In and out. The salt air clears your head, leaving only peace. The coastal hush is a special kind of silence. It is not empty. It is full of the ancient history of the sea, stories of explorers, of storms long past, and of the steady, unchanging moon that pulls the tides. You realize that the ocean has been moving like this for millions of years. It is the ultimate lullaby. Your eyelids are becoming very heavy now. The rhythmic creaking of the boats is slowing down. The sound of the waves is becoming a distant hum, like a soft fan in a quiet room. The granite houses are sleeping. The lighthouse continues its slow golden dance, watching over you while you drift away. You are ready to sink into a deep, dreamless sleep, as deep as the ocean itself. You are floating on a sea of calm, where the waves only carry you closer to rest. But our journey through the peaceful past has one more secret to share. Next, we will leave the salt air behind and move inland into the heart of a deep,
ancient forest. We will find the shadows of the Black Forest, where the trees tell fairy tales and the moss is as soft as a bed. For now, let the Atlantic mist wrap around you. Let the rhythm of the tide be your guide. Sleep, drift, hush, rest.
Now, leave the misty coast behind. Imagine the sound of the ocean fading into a deep emerald silence. We are traveling inland to the heart of Central Europe. We are entering the Black Forest. Do not be afraid of the name. It is not a place of darkness, but a place of deep, protective shade. It is a world made of ancient pine trees, soft green moss, and the cozy scent of wood smoke. As you step into the forest, the air becomes cool and still. The canopy of trees above you is so thick that it feels like a cathedral of needles and branches. The light here is filtered. It is a soft, shimmering green, like sunlight shining through a glass bottle. The ground beneath your feet is a thick carpet of moss. It is velvet. It is plush. Your footsteps make no sound at all. Hush, hush, hush. In the center of this forest lies a village that looks like it was carved out of a dream. These are the fairy tale houses of your childhood imagination. They are built with heavy, dark timber frames, thick beams of oak that have stood for hundreds of years. The walls are painted a soft cream, and the roofs are made of deep golden thatch. The thatch is thick and heavy, like a warm winter hat pulled down low over the windows. As you breathe in the air itself smells wonderful. It is the scent of old pine, dried herbs, and the sweet resinous sap of the trees. It is a grounded smell. It makes you feel safe. It makes you feel heavy. You walk slowly past a small cottage where a stack of firewood is piled neatly against the wall. The logs are cut perfectly, waiting for the winter snow. You follow a tiny bubbling brook that winds through the village. The water is crystal clear and moves over smooth, dark stones. It makes a gentle, rhythmic tinkling sound. Tinkle, ripple, tinkle. It sounds like tiny silver bells ringing in the distance. The brook leads you to a small wooden bridge with a curved railing. You lean against the wood, feeling its rough, honest texture. Everything in this village is made by hand. You see hand-carved shutters on the windows with little heart shapes cut into the wood. You see weather vanes shaped like roosters and clocks that chime with a soft, mechanical tick-tock. The pace of life here is governed by the trees. Trees grow slowly, and so does the history of this place. There is no reason to rush. There is only the here and now. The sun is setting, and the shadows of the tall pines are stretching across the village. The forest is beginning to sing its evening song. You hear the soft hoo-hoo of an owl high in the branches. You hear the rustle of a deer moving through the ferns. These are peaceful sounds. They are the sounds of nature settling down for the night.
Inside the houses, the hearths are being lit. You see a warm, flickering orange glow behind the small, leaded glass windows. Imagine sitting by one of those fires. The wood crackles softly. Snap, pop, hiss. The warmth spreads through the room, making your toes feel tingly and relaxed. You are wrapped in a thick, handmade quilt. It is heavy. It is warm. The forest outside is becoming a deep, velvety black. The trees stand like tall, silent guardians around the village. They have seen centuries of families sleep under these thatched roofs. They have heard 1,000 years of lullabies. They are watching over you now, too. You are part of this ancient story. Your breathing is slow and deep.
in and out. With every breath, you feel more connected to the earth. Your mind is wandering into the shadows of the trees, where the air is cool and the silence is absolute. There are no worries here, there are no deadlines, there is only the soft, rhythmic ticking of a clock and the gentle sigh of the wind in the pines. The mist from the brook is rising now, wrapping around the timber beams and the thatched roofs. The village is disappearing into a soft, gray dream. You feel your eyelids drooping. The weight of the quilt is comforting. The warmth of the fire is lulling you into a state of total peace. You are drifting. You are sinking into the mossy floor of the forest, where everything is soft and quiet. The fairy tales of the past are whispering to you, telling you that the world is a beautiful, magical place, and that it is finally time to rest. But our journey is still moving forward. Next, we will leave the shadows of the forest and follow the water. We will find our way to the peaceful rivers of France, where the water reflects the history of 1,000 years, and the current carries us toward the light of the moon. For now, stay in the cozy embrace of the timber and thatch. Let the spirit of the forest watch over your dreams. Sleep, heavy, safe, rest.
Now leave the deep shadows of the forest behind. Imagine the scent of pine fading away, replaced by the fresh, sweet smell of moving water and damp limestone. We are traveling to the heart of the French countryside. This is a land of slow rivers, ancient stone bridges, and willow trees that weep gracefully into the current. Imagine you are standing on the banks of a river like the Loire or the Seine, far away from the noise of the city. The water is moving, but it is so smooth it looks like a sheet of dark silk. It doesn't rush, it glides. It has a slow, steady pulse that matches the beating of your own heart. Flow, drift, flow. The sky above is a pale, shimmering silver. The moon is high and full, casting a long, glowing ribbon of light across the surface of the water. You begin to walk along a narrow towpath. The ground is soft under your feet, covered in tiny clover and river grass. The air is cool and moist, carrying the faint perfume of wild lilies and damp stone. Ahead of you, a small village appears, built right onto the water's edge. The houses are made of pale, cream-colored stone that seems to glow in the moonlight. Their blue wooden shutters are closed tight for the night. The village is so still that you can hear the soft lap, lap, lap of the water hitting the stone foundations. It is a rhythmic, liquid sound. It is a lullaby. You come to an old stone bridge with 3 perfect arches. The bridge is hundreds of years old. Its stones are worn smooth by centuries of rain and footsteps. You walk to the center of the bridge and lean over the mossy railing. Below you, the water reflects the arches perfectly, creating 3 dark, silent circles. In this reflection, the world feels doubled. The peace feels doubled. Looking down into the river, you see the long green tresses of river weeds swaying beneath the surface. They move slowly back and forth, dancing to the secret rhythm of the deep water. Sway, return, sway. There is no struggle in their movement. They simply go where the water takes them. You feel your mind doing the same. You are letting go of the shore. You are drifting with the current. The village is famous for its quiet. Here, the loudest sound is the occasional splash of a silver fish
jumping, or the soft rustle of an owl's wings in the poplar trees. The trees stand in straight lines along the riverbank, their leaves shimmering like tiny coins in the moonlight. Every time a gentle breeze passes, the leaves whisper. They sound like 1,000 voices saying, "Hush, hush, hush."
You walk past an old watermill. The giant wooden wheel is still now, dripping slowly into the river. Drip, plop, drip. The sound is steady and hypnotic. Inside the mill, the heavy stones are at rest. The flour has been ground. The work of the day is over. The river, however, never stops. It is a constant, gentle companion that has seen generations of people dream beside its banks. A soft, white mist is beginning to rise from the water. It moves slowly, like a ghost, wrapping itself around the stone bridge and the willow trees. The world is becoming blurry and soft. The edges of the houses are disappearing. The reflection of the moon on the water is becoming a hazy, golden glow. You feel wrapped in a cocoon of mist. It is private. It is safe. It is peaceful. Your body feels very light, as if you are floating on the surface of the river yourself. Your breathing is deep and rhythmic, in and out. Each breath is cool and refreshing. You are part of the slow pulse of the countryside. You are moving with the water toward a place of total stillness. In this French village, history is not found in books, but in the reflections on the water. It is a history of quiet afternoons, of slow boat rides, and of the steady, unchanging path of the river. It tells you that you don't need to fight the current. You can just let it carry you. Your eyes are closing now. The sound of the dripping watermill is fading. The whispering leaves are becoming silent. You are drifting away on a river of dreams, moving softly toward the sea. The water is warm, the mist is soft, and you are completely at peace. But our journey through the echoes of time has one more destination. Next, we will leave the riverbanks and cross the sea to a land of mist and ancient stone. We will find the thatched cottages and sacred silences of the British Isles. We will walk among the stone circles where time itself seems to stand still. For now, let the river carry you. Let the reflection of the moon light your way. Sleep, drift, flow, rest. Now let the soft mist of the French River carry you across the narrow sea. We are arriving on the shores of the British Isles. This is a land of rolling green hills, rugged cliffs, and a silence that feels sacred. It is a place where the earth remembers everything. The air here is cool and heavy with the scent of wild heather, damp wool, and ancient rain. Imagine you are standing on a vast open moor in the twilight. The grass under your feet is thick and springy, like a deep velvet cushion. Above you, the sky is a moody, shimmering purple. A soft gray fog is rolling in from the Atlantic, moving slowly across the hills like a quiet tide. It blankets the world in a peaceful, muffled stillness. As you walk, you see a small village in the distance. It is a cluster of tiny cottages with thick thatched roofs. The thatch is dark and heavy, looking like soft fur in the dim light. The walls are built from rough, gray field stones, piled one on top of the other without any mortar. These stones have sat here for 1,000 years, held together by their own weight and the steady rhythm of the earth. You follow a narrow path lined with low stone walls. The walls are covered in silver lichen and soft, cushiony moss.
As you brush your hand against the stones, they feel cool and damp. You hear the distant, gentle bleat of a sheep tucked away in a stone fold. Bah! It is a lonely but peaceful sound that echoes softly through the fog. In the center of the village, there is an old stone church with a square tower. Its windows are tall and narrow. A faint golden light flickers from within, the glow of a single candle. Outside the church, there is a giant yew tree. Its branches are twisted and ancient, reaching out like protective arms. The wind moves through the needles with a soft, rhythmic hiss. Shh, shh, shh. It sounds like the tree is shushing the world, telling everyone to be still. Beyond the village, you walk toward the top of a gentle hill. Here, the history of this land becomes truly silent. Standing in a perfect ring are the great stones. These are the ancient stone circles left here by people whose names have been forgotten by time. The stones are tall and gray, standing like silent giants against the dark sky. They do not move. They do not speak. They simply exist in a state of eternal peace.
You walk into the center of the circle. The air here feels different. It is perfectly still. There is no wind inside the stones. You feel a deep, heavy sense of calm. This is a place of sacred silence. You sit down at the base of the largest stone. It is solid. It is unchanging. It has watched the moon rise and the sun set for thousands of years. It reminds you that your worries are small and the world is very old and very steady. The stars are beginning to peek through the breaking clouds. In the British Isles, the stars look soft and watery. They shimmer like distant lanterns through the mist. You look up at the Milky Way and feel yourself drifting. Your breathing becomes slow and rhythmic, in and out. Each breath is synchronized with the heartbeat of the ancient earth beneath you. Everything here is grounded. The stones, the hills, the heavy thatch of the roofs, they all suggest a life of endurance and quiet strength. There is no noise of the modern world here, no engines, no lights, only the soft sigh of the moor and the steady pulse of the stars. You feel a deep, heavy relaxation spreading through your limbs. Your legs feel like lead, your arms feel soft and still. The fog is thickening now, turning the stone circle into a ghostly white dream. The village below has disappeared. The hills have vanished. There is only you and the sacred silence of the stones. You are floating in time. You are part of the history of this island, a history of quiet nights and long, deep winters. The stones are protecting you. The earth is holding you. You are safe. You are at rest. Your eyes are very heavy now. The image of the gray stones is fading into a soft, velvet darkness. You are ready to enter the deepest part of your journey. One final stop remains, a place where the final embers of the night glow warmly, and the history of all these villages comes together to wish you a final good night. For now, stay within the circle. Let the sacred silence wrap around your mind. Sleep, heavy, ancient, rest. Now, our long journey through the old villages is coming to a gentle end. Leave the mist of the stone circles behind. Imagine yourself returning to a place that feels like the heart of every story we have told. We are moving toward a small, warm room at the end of a quiet street. The air here is the most peaceful of all.
It is warm, still, and smells of sweet beeswax and old parchment. You are standing in front of a heavy wooden door. The wood is smooth and dark, polished by centuries of hands. You push it open, and it moves without a sound. Inside, the room is bathed in a soft, flickering amber light. This is the glow of the final ember in the fireplace. It is a deep, pulsing red, a slow heartbeat of light that warms the walls. You walk toward a large velvet armchair near the hearth. As you sit down, the chair seems to hug you. It is soft and deep. You feel your body sinking into it, letting go of the last bit of tension in your shoulders. Your feet are resting on a handmade rug. Everything in this room is quiet. The only sound is the rhythmic tick-tock, tick-tock of a wooden clock on the mantel. It is a slow, sleepy sound that tells you there is no more time to keep track of. On the table next to you, there is a small glass lantern. Inside, a tiny flame dances slowly. This is the lantern's glow that has traveled through the ages. It is the same light that glowed in the stone villages of the valley. It is the same light that flickered in the alpine cabins and the Tuscan farmhouses. It is the light of home. It is steady. It is safe. It is peaceful. Outside the window, the world has completely disappeared into a soft, velvet night. The stars have stopped shimmering and are now just steady points of light. The wind has died down to a faint whisper, like a mother humming a lullaby to a sleeping child. The history of the world is outside, resting in the shadows, but in here there is only warmth. You look into the fireplace at the glowing embers. They are like tiny burning jewels. Occasionally, one of them settles with a soft clink or a tiny puff of gray smoke. Hush, hiss, stay. Each ember is a memory of our journey. The cobblestones, the meadows, the rivers, and the ancient stones. They are all here, keeping you warm. Your breathing is now very slow, in and out. Your breath is so quiet you can barely hear it. You feel a heavy, pleasant warmth spreading from your chest to your arms and down to your very toes. You are like the village at night, still, silent, and protected. The lantern on the table begins to dim. The flame is getting smaller, turning into a tiny golden bead. The shadows in the room are growing longer and softer. They are not scary shadows. They are like soft blankets of silk, covering the corners of the room, preparing it for sleep. The wood in the fire is now just a pile of soft, silver ash. You realize that history is not just about the past. It is about this moment of peace. It is about the way the world finds a way to be still at the end of the day. You are part of a long line of dreamers who have sat by a fire and watched the embers fade. You are connected to every quiet village we have visited. You are home. The clock on the wall seems to be slowing down. Tick, tock, tick. The silence between the sounds is growing longer. The room is becoming darker, but you feel completely safe. The darkness is kind. It is a gift. It is an invitation to close your eyes and let go of the last thread of the world. The final ember gives one last gentle glow before turning to gray. The lantern flame flickers once and disappears, leaving only the faint, sweet scent of wax. You are in total, beautiful darkness. It is a soft, heavy darkness that feels like a dream. There are no more paths to walk, no more rivers to follow, no more stones to count. The journey is complete. The villages are asleep. The mountains are asleep.
The ocean is asleep, and now it is your turn. Your mind is a calm, empty sky. Your heart is a steady, quiet beat. You are drifting away, further and further, into a deep, shimmering sea of rest. Good night, traveler. The history of peace is now your own. Sleep. Deep. Soft. Rest. The embers have faded. The journey is complete. You are now surrounded by the same timeless peace that has guarded these villages for centuries. Let your mind rest in this stillness. You are safe. You are home. Before you drift into your deepest sleep, if these stories brought you peace, feel free to join our quiet community Sleeptale Histories by subscribing for more journeys. But for now, there is nothing left to do. The stars are watching over you. Good night, traveler. Sleep well. Sleep deep.
If you're still awake, another peaceful story awaits you.